Hello fellow cyborgs, today I present you with another book review, and the book we are going to be reviewing today is The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. And as promised, I know that this is your favorite part of my reviews, book haiku. So here is what I came up with. You make your own quests, befriending wyverns and djinns. Remember both shoes. There you go. You probably don't know what this book is about because of the haiku, but that's not the point. This is one of my new favorite books, and I've already read it twice. I read it back to back. It's that good. Deep in the North American Midwest of Omaha lives September, a girl who is sick of the mundanities of life like washing teacups and having little dogs want to lick your face. Through her kitchen window, she is pulled into fairyland by the green wind, and thus begins her fantastic adventures. September meets a wyvern, not to be confused with a dragon, a merid, not to be confused with a djinn, a couple witches, not to be confused with sorceresses, enchantresses, wizards, etc., and a werewolf, not to be confused with a mundane werewolf. September's adventures in fairyland start off with the quest for a stolen spoon, but then quickly roll into a fantastic, full of friendship and peril and wonder and more fantastic adjectives. Just add whatever. Insert adjective of choice next. This book is a modern adaptation on the Victorian fairy tale. Think Alice in Wonderland, where each chapter is its own little story, introduces a new character, or embarks and completes an adventure. But the cool thing about this is that it is not dry and boring like some Victorian fairy tales can be. I've read half of a book of a collection of Victorian fairy tales. I only got through halfway. You make your conclusions. September is so awesome. She's such a great protagonist. September, she is smart and kind and intelligent, and yet she doubts herself. She's not completely full of her own capabilities. She loves the color orange and begins her adventures with only one shoe. Along the way, she meets a wyvern whose name is A through L. Yes, like the letter A through the letter L, because his father was a library, apparently. And she meets a merid, which is a sea genie, named Saturday. She meets witches whose names are Hello and Goodbye, and their husband, the werewolf, named Many Thanks. Every time Catherine M. Valente could put in something extra whimsical or extra fun, she chose to do so, i.e. the fairyland capital pandemonium is made out of fabrics. It's just so imaginative and lovely. And this takes place during World War II. You don't get a lot of that flavor, but that was just an extra detail that I noticed that just made me love it a little bit more. This book is written for children, but it doesn't talk down to them, nor does it dumb down the vocabulary. There are quite a few words in here that I still don't know the meaning of. Not to say that it would be a struggle for a young reader to read. I'm thinking ages like 9 to 12. But the language is interesting as well as the story. It really keeps the reader engaged. One of the reasons why I love this story as well is that within it, like fairy tales of old, are lessons, but they're not the sort of lessons you would expect. It's not like brush your teeth or you will die of gingivitis. I'm not going to say any of them because they're really special when you stumble upon them, but I can describe them as nothing less than wisdom. This book is also illustrated. At the beginning of each chapter, you get a little illustration of what's to come, which is just fantastic. I wish that more books would do that, even full adult books. This book was just amazing. After I finished it, I had to go out into the big real world and pick up its sequel immediately. Haven't read it, read this one again instead, but please give it a try. It's just really lovely, really imaginative, really sweet, and the ending is so good. You will jump into your car and go get the sequel as well. Also, Patrick Rothfuss read this and wrote a hysterical review on Goodreads. I will put the link down below. So please, give this a try. If you have children, read it aloud. I read it aloud to myself. It was so enjoyable. If you don't have children, just read it. It's not very long, and it's very, very wonderful. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this book review. In the comments down below, tell me if you have read this guy and tell me your opinions about it. Until next time, continue to be lovely. God, can I just have an idea and it come out of my mouth the way I want it to? Golly jeez. Ugh. Brain sludge. Ugh.